Welcome back to a sold-out Convocation Center in Cleveland, Ohio. Ready now for 126 pounds. The matchup is a good one. Number 1 and number 3 seeds. Eric Guerrero, the defending champion from Oklahoma State University with a record of 19-5. He'll be taking on Eric Jetton from the Wisconsin Badgers, number 1 seed with a record of 30-1. Jetton was 3rd last year in the championships. He'll be in the red uniform.
This really should be a contrast in styles, powerful and explosive on the mat, which is Jetton against a quick and technical opponent, which is Guerrero. Jetton been dominant in this weight class all year. Guerrero had an injury early on, had some losses early on, and the one thing he said is Smith stood by me. Despite the injury and despite the early poor performances, he stood by me, and now he's peaking at the right time.
Jetton, a little blood off the hand right from the get-go, checking out with the trainer right now over in the corner. Jetton, very powerful, doesn't like a close match, wants it to be entertaining. Actually, I think it's his head. Guerrero opened up a cut right on the bridge of the nose, and you take a look at these wrestlers, and they have been through a war here. Most of these guys in the championships have wrestled at least 4 times.
To win, you at least need 5 to win this. Guerrero with a nice shot there. Jetton controlling with a front headlock, trying to pull Guerrero down. Now he'll look to spin.
Jetton is with the red headgear, both uniforms similar in color. Right now they're spinning around, and it is nearest to you Eric Guerrero as he runs to the center, to the defending champion from the Cowboys, 3-time All-American from San Jose, California. He says when the lights are on, he's at his best. No score.
He was pretty tight-lipped during the interview. Didn't give away very much what he wants to try to do. He says he's got all-around skills. He just needs to bring them all to bear.
There's John Smith, head coach, still basking in the glow of Teague Moore's pin at 118 pounds over the number 1 David Morgan.
Jetton with a nice shot there. High crotch. Guerrero countering very nicely. And this is a real scramble. Guerrero looking like he's going to come out of this a little bit better. Jetton needs to hang on to that ankle, try to stalemate.
Jetton does have the ankle, but now Guerrero almost finds himself in similar position that David Morgan did in a defensive pin situation.
Guerrero comes out on top.
2 points for Guerrero.
And during that entire semifinal match last night, in which he defeated Hinson, who has always beaten him, he kept running back to the center, showed great enthusiasm, great energy, and he's doing it again against Jetton.
Jetton again with the blood, having problems right there. Jetton, we talked to a little bit beforehand. He's kind of a quiet number 1 seed. We asked him if he's the spoiler.
Well, I don't consider myself a spoiler. I just consider myself just to go out there and do my job, you know, because I feel like I worked hard for this. I don't think I'm a spoiler. I think I'm the man that deserves the championship, and I think after tonight we'll find out, you know, how things go.
He's going to have to go through Eric Guerrero from Oklahoma State to see exactly how that goes. And Eric, kind of on a roller coaster ride. He began the season as the number 1 seed, of course, a defending champion at 126, dropped down to 3rd, where he spent most of the year, had a little injury early on.
He's back and he's wrestling real well, and the role of spoiler means, you know, defeating an Oklahoma State wrestler and denying them a potential team title. But it looks as though Guerrero is focused. He leads 2-1, and he has the pressure of that team title to help motivate him, inspire him in this match.
Well, certainly Teague Moore fired up the other 2 Oklahoma State wrestlers who will wrestle here, including Guerrero. There's one other, Ardell Moore.
Jetton actually feels he has an advantage in conditioning. He also says he does feel some nerves. He's a little jittery during our interview.
Do you blame him?
No, hey, if I were in the national finals, I'd have some nerves too, but that's all part of competition. And dealing with nerves is certainly part of the mental preparation you go through for competition. But he says he loves to entertain, likes being in front of the crowd. He also feels he's stronger than Guerrero on his feet. As of yet, he has not scored. Pace slowed down now a little bit. Let's see if Jetton is trying to set Guerrero up and go underneath for a leg shot.
Eric Guerrero beat Jetton in the semifinals last year by a score of 11-6. And of course, Guerrero went on to win the 126-pound division. And he's going to be a good one next year. And that's the end of period number 1. We'll be back to Cleveland, Ohio in just a moment. 126-pounders on the mat right now. We begin in the second period. Eric Guerrero with a 2-1 lead over Eric Jetton of Wisconsin. Jetton, the #1 seed. Guerrero, the #3 seed. And it is Jetton in the red uniform and red headgear in control right now of Eric Guerrero in the orange and the black headgear from Oklahoma State. 1 point escape now for Guerrero.
Guerrero might get another takedown, and he does.
There it is.
He got that escape, and he didn't bother to try to reset and start again. He just turned right around and shot on Jetton. That's a great lesson to young wrestlers. Don't let a person set up. Go after them, particularly after you score, because they're thinking about how you score.
So they pick up right where they left off from the 118-pounder Teague Moore after that pin, and bonus points for Oklahoma State here as we begin the second period of action at 126. It is Eric Guerrero over Eric Jetton by a score of 5-1.
Guerrero really looks confident. He is peaking right now at the right time. Jetton's caught here a little bit. Guerrero has to let him loose or get reversed.
An escape point for Jetton. And Jetton having trouble with a cut on the bridge of his nose.
It looks like a contact. Looks as though he's working contact. He's just giving it to his coach. He's going to go without it.
Jetton does indeed have a cut on the bridge of his nose, and he had to stop action in the first period twice to stem the flow of the blood, but he appears ready, and he is back in action. Guerrero on the left, Jetton on the right.
Jetton felt he could dominate on the feet, and so far he's been taken down twice. His only points are escapes. Guerrero is fired up. It seems John Smith gave them an inspirational talk before they took the mat. They listened.
You know, he could have used that about a day or two earlier. Guerrero, a 3-time All-American, had a huge win, as we showed you in the semifinals versus Dwight Henson. And that could have been a season right there for Guerrero, but he is not satiated yet. He wants another national championship. If he does get it, of course, he'll be back as a chance for a third very elite club to have 3 national championships, and I know that's in his mind.
It's also very unusual for this national tournament, particularly in recent memory, to have 3 teams within 7.5 points of each other in the finals.
Minnesota has been a terrific team all year long. Not really that unusual, but when they got here to the Nationals, they really performed well, and that is unusual.
Minnesota's had a couple of top-flight teams that failed really to produce good results here at Division I, but last year they finished 3rd. This team now showing their mettle. It looked as though it was a 2-team race. They're back in it.
After the second period, it is Eric Guerrero leading Eric Jetton 5-2. Jetton will choose to go down low. He'll look for the escape point. That'll get him within 2. A takedown would tie this match up.
These two have met once this year, and it was Jetton winning 3-1. I'll bet you Guerrero was studying some of that tape, looking at what he did wrong and looking at how Jetton approached him. And on that leg again here, he's not going to move too much until he feels as though Jetton exposes himself in a stalemate by the referee.
And they do call that, and 32 seconds of riding time right now for Eric Guerrero. John Smith with some words of wisdom for that man, his 126-pound defending national champion, Eric Guerrero.
Look for Guerrero to try to ride him at all costs and try to get riding time established, but Jetton now looks as though he's going to turn the tables in on Guerrero's leg. Needs to come up, and Guerrero just rolling all over. Doesn't allow him to take him down, but
got the escape point.
Neutral position, gave him the escape.
Third period action here at 126 pounds. It is 5-3, and head coach Barry Davis of Wisconsin.
That was Troy Steiner with him. Steiner, a former NCAA champion for Iowa. Jetton says he works with him 2-3 times a week, and it's real important competition for him. Helps prepare him.
Jetton now within a takedown of tying this match up. Should they go tied after 3 periods, they'll wrestle for 2 minutes, and a stalling warning call against Eric Guerrero. One more caution. It'll be a point against the Cowboy.
Guerrero's been doing doing fine on his feet. He just backed up a little bit too much right there. He's probably trying to draw Jetton into him.
Jetton down low.
He's got a nice low single. He's behind it with both arms now. He's going to try to lift this into the air and find a way to finish.
That is the time left in this match for Jetton, and he's now turned Guerrero. No points awarded as of yet.
But Guerrero did a forward roll as a counter, and it worked perfectly. Guerrero got out of that single leg, and that's got to be frustrating to Jetton. That's like getting in the red zone and not scoring. Good opportunity, but it passed him by.
Still, Eric Jetton, the #1 seed in the country, is down by 2 points, needs a takedown of the defending champion.
Jetton was in there. That was a great opportunity, and he missed it. He needs to get under there again. 15 seconds remain. And it looks as though Guerrero has enough defense here to stop Jetton. He's looking at the clock now. He knows he's close.
Got a point to Jetton. Another stalling call, I believe, against Guerrero. It's a one-point match. But it is Eric Guerrero defending his title at 126 pounds in an unlikely defense. If you look back on this young man's season from Oklahoma State, Eric Jetton, though, had a tough matchup. Anytime you go against the defending champion, despite being a #3 seed, it is going to be difficult indeed.
And Guerrero understands. Everybody remembers the national tournament. It's the focus of the year. He came back from an injury and a slow start, peaked at the right time, and performed well when he needed to.
Oklahoma State has done what they need to do so far. They've won their first 2 matches. They'll sit and watch for a bit more. Guerrero and Teague Moore get the Cowboys off to a great start. Back to the NCAAs in a moment.